PFL, Pittsburgh, looking at me, and more importantly, your co-main event, IMPA KASANGANAY. IMPA, how we doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, man. Glad to be talking to you. Folks, we got some technical issues beforehand, but hopefully ironed out now. Big co-main event, dude. March 28th in Pittsburgh. Super excited for this card. I guess what was the initial reaction to getting this fight?
Man, I'm excited. Looking forward to. You have freaking Dalton, right? Solid fighter. Lost in the championship fight, but man, he's a good fighter, man. He's been around for a while. Comes from a great gym. You know, Pittsburgh guy. I like the idea of going into somebody's hometown and finding where they're from. Like that's just like an honor and a cool part of fighting. Great for the PFL putting me in the co-main event. Like you just think about the time of the PFL. I think it's my 16th fight with them. Maybe 14th to 16th. I don't know, somewhere in there. Because I was thinking about the fights I had with my coach, but it was like 14 fights. Maybe going into 15. But you know, you're just grateful, man. Like when you pray as a kid and you're training, you're doing main events, co-main events, fighting the best of the best. Like it's cool. Just really grateful to be a part of PFL. Like they posted when I was in that yurt, and that just kind of brought me back to thinking. I went by there the other day, and I was just thinking, like, dang, like a lot's changed since then, you know. And I'm just grateful to be part of the organization. So dialed in, really excited. They're gonna fight in Dubai at first, and then the fight got moved to March. So I think it's better. It's stateside. You can be, you know, connect with the local crew, fans, everybody, supporters. So I'm excited.
Even, I mean, you kind of touched on this, but you're even excited to potentially get, you know, booed in his hometown. You're going to be the B-side fighter here, if you will.
Hey, I look at it. It's cool, man. Like I get it's like what? How do you say? You get that opportunity to go there and do what you know what you can do, right? That stuff doesn't affect me. It's just more just like I respect it. Like you got to cheer on your guy. It'd be more sad if they booed him. Like you know, you're like,
right.
oh dang, like you're like, dang, what did you do? But no, I mean, I'm sure that I've had people there supporting me, and it's like you know who you come home to. I tell every fighter, anytime I get to talk to somebody who's still coming up, or just in like conversations, like who do you come home to? That's what matters most, right? So like we talk about like family and stuff, right? Like who you come home to matters more than just cheering. But there are people I know who are coming to the fight and supporting it. I'm grateful. And I like that challenge. Like it gets you going. It gets you like, all right, cool. Like and I'm not against the crowd for booing me. Like I hope they do because like that's their guy's town. He grew up near there. And I'm grateful to PFL, you know, trusted me to be professional and take on that challenge. And I think that's like you're going into another enemy's territory to conquer it. And what better platform than this, you know?
Talking about training camp can kind of be, you know, cliche. Sometimes fans are like, just journalists just asking about training camp. But you're at Killcliff right now. And the reason I bring it up is because RDR has a big fight this weekend. Killcliff's just kind of, it's a mention of everybody right now. So how has camp been? Who you mainly been training with at Killcliff?
Man, it's been a solid camp. I've man, everybody's fights. RDR has a fight. Yuri Rodriguez fights. Michael Johnson fights. Got a few guys fight last weekend. It's like starting to pick up. You know, it's like end of the year, beginning of the year slow. Then it just starts ramping up.
Fight
You're like,
season,
okay,
baby. Yeah.
nobody's in the gym. Everybody's in the gym. Nobody's in the gym. Everybody's in the gym. So it's been cool. Like I mean, I've been grateful, man. I gotta train a lot with Vicente Luque. Man, I've a lot of rounds with him. That's been super solid. Great fighter. Uh, you know, my guy, he's up and coming. Jean Nicolas, he's up from Canada, and you know some other fighters too. You know, I got trained Kamaru, everybody. You know, picking people's brains. So uh, we're all working. My teammate Anthony Wynn, he's fighting on that Fury card. He's next up for the big stage. So I'm just proud of him, man. I'm just like, let's get it going. So it's we're very very grateful. But again, really solid rounds. Logan Storley, you know, so definitely prepared. Looking forward to claiming this victory, but at the same time too, it's like just seeing everybody get excited for their fights, and some of the guys are fighting in the PFL. The PFL's doing their thing. It's like so many changes. It's been a cool camp so far.
RDR, you know, last Renier de Ritter, last camp or last fight, people came at his cardio. He said, you know, yeah, I probably overworked myself. I never felt anything like that. Now I'm talking to all these Killcliff guys, and they're saying Renier de Ritter is a mythical creature with how good his cardio has gotten. Is this true? Is his cardio like through the roof right now?
Yeah, he's been getting a lot better. It's like I think people forget. It's like Renier's been fighting for a long time, and he's a champion. He
Yeah.
knows his body different than other people, and it's like I don't want to take from Brendan because Brendan's my guy too. You know, Brendan Allen is my guy. He's like he was at Kill Cliff. Brendan welcomed me to Kill Cliff, or it was when it was Sanford, then Kill Cliff. Like, he's he's legit, you know. So he fought. It's like just two legit fighters fought each other. One guy won, one guy lost. That's how I look at it. Ritter, yeah, and I'm sure there were medical things, but he's been training a lot better. He looks really good, and I'm excited to see this fight. Like, you know, the Ritter's close to the title fight in the UFC, so it's like
Mhm.
those little detail matters. But he came and hit the ground running, you know, and it's like I respect somebody like that. I respect somebody saying, "Yo, I'm gonna take a fight after fight after fight after fight." Took out Bo Nickel, took out other people, and now it's just like, okay, like he's refined, dialed in, and you know, my prayer is that when he goes into this fight, he goes there and claims his victory. Like I always say, it was just interesting, right? You have the gym, like obviously Brendo's our guy, and at the gym, but forever, you know, one of the guys to me, because like when I first walked in, he was there, and then DeRitter, you know, he's a guy who represents the gym. He's got a lot of grounds. Gregory, again, Anthony Went. We didn't do a lot of rounds yet, maybe some grappling and wall rounds more so, but he's a brain. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's what's the word called? He's very skilled. So he's got probably one of the best knees in MMA, but also can grapple. So I'm excited for this one. I'm praying he just goes there and dominates, and you know how it is. Everybody's always going to say something, but uh, he's uh, he's well on his way. So I'm excited for him.
You kind of touched on it, but Dalton Rosta for yourself. I can't
Mhm.
imagine you really smack talking here. So, what are your thoughts? You can if you want, but I can't imagine knowing you. So, what are your thoughts on Dalton overall ahead of this fight?
Yeah, I guess I can address the smack talk. Like he's cool. I mean, like messed him up for his last fight. You know, I think he's going to do well in this, like in this world of fighting. Like, I mean, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna focus on my job, do claim the victory, and move forward. It's no shot at him. It's just the matchup that was made. And that's how I look at it. I don't get caught up in all the trash talk, smack talk. It's like that's his dad. I found it funny, you know, when he was fighting AJ the second time, made a comment. Apparently, I was joking, but whatever. But it's like I don't believe in trash talk because I'll take it to like a place that it's probably unnecessary. So it's just like I I just respect people saying stuff like he does his thing. He's living his life. Like I respect somebody, and it's like he's fighting for a lot of things. You know, like he's fighting for his town. You do research on your opponents, and like you know he's had a everybody has their own story, but I know you know his father passed, and I know this is going to mean a lot to him. So he's definitely going to bring his best self, and I love my dad. I love people, so it's like I can't see myself talking trash to somebody who's fighting for something bigger than themselves. We've talked like we're not friends, you know, we're not buddy, but it's, you know, nothing like that. But it's not that we don't need to be, right? It's just it's my world, it's my job, and it's like my focus is claim this victory, go get that title shot, right? And right now, all that matters is what's in front of me, right? And it's going to take step by step. But no need to talk trash. Like I listen to people when they say stuff, and like you take notes. But other than that, it's never. It could be him, and then you know how it is. You'd be fighting, then somebody gets an injury, and you're fighting somebody else. So you put so much
Sure.
energy into that, it's a waste of time. So I'm just here focused on claiming victory for whoever's across the cage on March 28th.
And Florida's, you got the Kill Cliff ATT right there. You ever actually run into Dalton down there? You see him around ever?
I saw him a few months ago at an event in Miami. Um, just quick passing with ATT people doing this thing, you know, like uh, not much. Then we both fought on that August card, so I saw him
Yes.
through the hotel. Yeah, and I mean, it's like yeah. I mean, I always joke around with ATT. Like, ATT is definitely. I've had so many battles with them now that it's just become like, all right, yep, ATT guy, let's go. You know, so
It's a little
um,
rivalry,
uh,
man.
yeah, so I'm grateful. You know, it's like I think I was saying like when I in 13, 15, 20 years when I'm not fighting anymore after like when I eventually step away from this, I always be grateful for them because what's the point of being a warrior without like an enemy? Right? What's the point of being a warrior without somebody who to go against? You know, like Dan Lambert and them, those guys, they've set up something really solid. So many legends, some of the greatest in the game have come there. You know, it's like some of those guys you're like, dang, like, it'd be kind of cool to train with some of them. Some of those guys you'd be like, man, like, there's a lot you can learn. Watch their fights. Everybody from Dalton to the Masvidals to the gosh, you could just
Kayla
Flores,
Harrison,
whoever
man,
you
and
want,
keep
Kayla
going.
Harrison, you name it. It's like so it's really a respect thing. It's like I mean, to be at a point in my career in my life that you're fighting the best from the best gym, one of the best gyms in the world, like you're just it's an honor. So I'm happy that the work we're putting in. Shout out to my trainer Dieter Navarro, head trainer, you have Robbie Lawler, Herbert Burns. There's a lot of history. A lot of those guys came from
Mhm.
ATT and are coaching the next generation. So it's like there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
You said you saw Fabian versus Dalton. Uh,
Hmm.
I, Dalton got caught, obviously, but did you see? I'm wearing the hat. I'm not really trying to talk smack PFL, but whoever was in charge of showing Dakota Ditchova's reaction immediately afterwards, as Dalton still kind of asleep on the ground. I mean, poor choice in my opinion. Did you see that? Did you notice that at all?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't ever talk. I like Dakota and them too. Like her family, her mom, her brother. So I always stay away from talking about
I
them.
just mean it more like, could you imagine
Yeah,
they did that, like showing your girl or your family afterwards? Like, come on,
yeah.
man.
No, I didn't like it. It was kind of interesting about PFL because they've always been respectful, and I think to the crew, like the finales, everybody. I think their thought was go to somebody they're attached to. Like you would see somebody's family in
Sure.
the crowd, they would do it too. And knowing the PFL, like they're not trying to be disrespectful. It was. I think it came off that way because how we react now in society,
Sure.
and you hate it for him because he got knocked out, right? You're excited for Fabian because obviously he's an excellent fighter. He's fighting the title fight, and then you hate it for Dakota because she's just trying to support her guy and she's an excellent fighter, so it just naturally brings that. And she's a champion, so it's always gonna go back to her. And it's like, yes, it can become viral. I do wish that it didn't have to happen that way. Even if you got knocked out and lost, like they just kind of focused on the fight at hand, because that's a lot. That could be a thing. But I I was when I saw it, I was like, dang, like okay, but if I were to talk to the guys on the team, I know like what I say from the good light, right? It's like I've been knocked out of the PFL, right? Okay. In the PFLs, I've also knocked people out. And they show my family, this.
Sure.
You've had it. But I never forget, too, the PFL, that they see my family, they'll get up at the airport and they go see them. My parents told me, it's like, oh gosh, like all the PFL crew, everybody from the Grand, Matt Byrne, whoever was there was just like, hey, how are you doing? They're not just like that on fight day. They're not just like that on whatever. They're like that, year round. When they walk into the hotel after the fight, they came up. The fights that I've lost, they came up and gave me hugs, like so it was like kind of like weird to see, but I think it's like my dad always told me, the two sides to the story, and there's something in the middle, right? So I think that's all it is. I just felt for Dakota because she's awesome. She's a solid, fighter person, and it kind of took away the light from what's going on. It even took maybe from Fabian's moment, and then it also took
Sure.
away from Dalton, and I'm sure it's gonna make him hungrier. So it's like for me, I look at it, all those little details are why I got to stay locked in even more.
I didn't mean to phrase that question as a shit talk to PFL. I don't know how I really meant
No,
to
no,
phrase that
no.
question, but that's how it came out. So
And I know you don't mean it that way. So shout out to you. I'll say it out loud. Like I know you're
no, you're good,
you're
bro.
super respectful, and I was just saying like I think it's a touchy subject because like I just like to keep fights at the fights, and you're doing a great job, man. So I know you. I
Well,
know
thanks, bro.
you don't say anything crazy. So
Well, they did it at I don't remember to who. They did it at Contender Series a couple years ago too. Some kid gets knocked out, and they just cut to his family going like, oh, it's like just
yeah,
avoid that. But hey,
but
it whatever
on the
doesn't matter.
on the side of it too, it's like I think it could be seen negative, but the positive of it is like you're telling the true story, right? What I respect about
Yes,
journalists, what I respect about journalists, and they're not trying to hide what it is. Like people, I think it's like how we reacted. Like you and I were doing our best to say it in a respectful way. It's not something to laugh at. Like I respect all of them, but I think it's like if you cut it out too, what you can't please people, right? You don't show Dakota, you don't show anybody. Then they're like, oh, they're not gonna do this, but they're doing it the
true.
whole time. And then it's like any story. Like um, when I got knocked out by Dovlet, still tell that story. When I got knocked out by Buckley, still tell that story because
Yep.
I'm gonna be a champion one day. And like when I get this title this year, it's gonna be the same thing. It's like, yeah, I remember those moments, but all those moments are what make you, who you become. So I appreciate true journalism and I appreciate true storytelling. And not every true story feels good, but it could be good later on, right? So like, oh, maybe they get married one day and then they look back on those moments and I don't know, maybe something in that moment made them tighter or they know how to be
Yep.
there for each other. So I don't want to, I don't want to, you know, crap on the PFL or you because you're not saying anything bad. You're telling the true story and you're doing work. I think we got so used to like kind of fun media that it's not becoming something where it's true journalism, and that's what you're doing. So I don't think you said anything bad, man. So,
Healthy mix of both is the best way to do journalism, in my opinion. And
yeah.
yeah, just ask what you're saying. Like Ariel Hawani, he did a few months ago. He went like backstage at a bare knuckle event and
Hmm.
highlighted the winners, the losers. I mean, you got to see it all, but that's MMA. That's combat sports. It's a very raw
Right.
sport. It's this cliche, the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. So when you get to see the lowest of lows, I think is like a unique, cool insight. You know what I mean?
Hmm. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Crazy sport. Y'all are crazy, man. In the best way possible. I mean that, obviously. But Impa, this fight specifically, prediction, stylistic matchup, how do you see this going down?
Yeah, Dalton's a well-rounded fighter. I think people misunderstand that he's not just a wrestler. He's got solid wrestling, right? Strong guy, brings pressure, power, right? Very well coached, solid team around him, right? Got good minds around him. So to me, it's a high level fight. It's a high level fight. You know, it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, like cool. I see me sharpshooting. Like I know the level I'm at. I'm keep improving, keep refining daily. Um, I see me getting a first round finished. It could go the second, but just dominating from beginning to end. It's like it doesn't take away from the fighter that Dalton is yet. I just know that like I know who I am, I know what I'm doing, and I trust my trainers, my coaches, and we're my teammates. You know, right? Like I'm putting myself in the fire, so I'm I'm looking forward to it.
And now we got rankings. Number 3 for yourself.
Yeah,
Do you like the rankings compared to the tournament? Are you going to miss the tournament? What are your thoughts on that switch up?
I love fighting. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like when I went from season to season, everybody's like, "Oh, why are you going season to season?" Right? And like I defend my title 3 times. Cool, right? Like if I was in another organization, they'd be like, "Dang, you defend your title 3 times. It's great." So like you have these like personal goals you hit, and it's something that's pretty cool to me, right? Now I respect the PFL. They're going in a different direction. I think the rankings are really cool, and I kind of look at if I like the rankings or not, they're going to be there. So I might as well embrace them and make the most of
Yeah.
it. So my focus is like I'm start training at 24. I'm ranked 3 in the world in this organization. Come a long way. We have so much further to go. So like I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'm definitely pushing towards where I'm going to be. And before you know, you'll see the belt wrapped around my waist, and we'll keep pressing forward. So I like it because they're just trying to they're feeding off the crowd. They're listening. They're listening to what the market says. They're building in their own way, in their own unique way. And there's a change in leadership, so they're gonna have a different vision, a different path. Uh, Now to differentiate ourselves from the UFC is going to be different. So what could we do to be better? And I think it's like one, you have like that. Well, if not even competition, but you just have that like that model that you've seen that's been working for a long time. You can take notes from it and apply it to the PFL in our own light. So yeah, to go become champion here, to see these rankings, and it gives a little bit more structure and organization because you win the tournament, are you champion, or do you win outside the tournament, you're champion? You fought more, are you more valuable? You fought less, are you more valuable? I like Vince Steenis. Vince Steenis was training at Kill Cliff for a while before he went
Hmm.
back over. We trained with some until we both had our fights, but 2 solid fighters. So it's like it's cool to see a guy that's gonna fight Fabian. They fought before, and then I've been there. But then you're wondering like, okay, what stands? So now that they have some more clarity, I think that at least put things in order, and it's gonna. I think like growth follows order. So we'll see.
And I do want to ask you about a couple of those middleweight fights coming up, and then I'll get you out of here. But we got to start with that one, Van Steenis and Edwards, the rematch. Who takes that? And then we'll answer that first, then I'll ask my follow up. Who do you think takes that one?
Man, I trained with both of them. Trained with Vince Steenis, fought Fabian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shooting Fabian, like and Vincenus, shooting Vincenus. He's a dog, right? This says a lot about somebody who's a dog. I've seen Fabian go into late rounds, right, and he's just ahead and lost. He beat me, so it's like it's nothing like no shot at him. But Vincenus is a dog. He's skilled. He's coached well. He's willing to travel around. But so is Fabian. Fabian's a sharpshooter, right? Like knock me out. He's clean, Muay Thai, clean with the elbows. Like he's got to find that shine, and maybe he's coming to his own. Right? It took his brother some time, and then he became one of the great champions. So now one of the really good, excellent champions, and you have Fabian, who's kind of making his own path. So he's learned, and maybe that when he won that fight with Dalton, it kind of gave him that little bit of extra, like, you can do this, right? Because if you look at the fight too, like, it wasn't like he was just dogging Dalton. Dalton,
Right.
Dalton was in it, the best in the world, right? So it's like you gotta really study the tape, and then, I mean, Johnny Eblen, one of the best middleweights in the world, of all, in history, right? If you want to put it down like that, however you, whatever list you have him on,
Mm-hmm.
and to stay that focused and to stay that at a time he wasn't like so far ahead in the fight at all, to pull off a finish and a choke, not a knockout, like, but to like use his skill, says a lot about Van Steenis, and that to me is like what makes a champion a champion. Like, they can just keep pushing even when it's really dark. And he did that. So that's why I'm gonna call Van Steenis. Like I said, no shot at Fabian, but I see Van Steenis pulling this one off. And especially they fought before, and then I don't know. I don't know Fabian's mindset there. Is he gonna let the doubt from the past creep in, or is he gonna go try to take it now too? So we'll see.
Two-parter here. Part 1, number 3 ranking. You got to assume you're next for the title shot with a win, right? And then part 2, who would you prefer, Van Steenis or redemption against Edwards?
Oh man, who would I prefer? So
Part
yeah,
one
you look
first.
forward.
Part 1 first. Are you next for the title with a win here?
I believe I am. I mean, I'm that title shot should be mine. Once I come this victory, right? So
I
I'm gonna
agree.
do my job. I'm gonna do. I say, I gotta do my job. Like, it's like I believe the title fight's mine. Once I claim this, once I claim this victory on March 28th, and I will. Then it's like you gotta wait and see, right? Because they fight the week before, so they're gonna, hey, do another title eliminator. Is it Johnny again? Is it Bryan Battle? What's he doing? Like, like I can see it. I don't ever stress because I know at the end of the day, no matter what, I'm gonna be a champion. So I just know that I'm gonna call it. When I claim this victory, that's what I'll do. I'll call for that title fight, and I believe it's mine, and it will be. Uh, who would I rather fight? That's cool either way, right? So I fight Fabian. I get the rematch, but best more refined version of myself. He won the first one, and then there's a trilogy, right? Or Van Steenis. All due respect, he's a friend for sure. I respect him, but he's really skilled, and I would be honored. So I'm like, I'm right down the middle. I like Van Steenis would be new, and we trained together, and it's just like, hey, like you've seen the stories of Kill Cliff, but it's also saying like you're fighting a guy you really respect and a friend. So it's like prefer to fight somebody that's just on the other side of the fence, right? So and I really respect Fabian, but he beat me before, and it's like now like go take him out and go get that finish to run it back for the tiebreaker, right? But I would say Fabian. But it's like if he sees me my dog, he wins. I'd be very honored.
Both great fights, and as a fan, I'll just be excited to see you get another title shot.
See,
Last
thanks.
question here, and you mentioned both these guys' names, and I know actually I think you were in Miami at a Dirty Boxing event when Bryan Battle got a crazy
Hmm.
knockout, right? Were you at that one? So
Yeah.
who takes that, Johnny Eblen or Bryan Battle?
Oh my gosh. That's
That's
a
a
really good
great
fight,
fight,
man.
man.
Right? Seeing like we're both like so I don't know if many people know. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. So actually Brian and I fought as amateurs.
That's
And
I always forget that, and you tell me that every
yeah,
time I talk to you.
yeah. No, he did, and he gosh, Johnny's good too. We'll see if Johnny's hungry and ready to go, but Brian can put it together. He's got good coaching. I mean, that's a 50-50 fight to me. It's not that Brian's good. Brian's improved a lot. So is Johnny. It's like I think Johnny's gonna have to put it together on the feet more with a guy like Brian because Brian can. There's a lot that he can do on the grappling side that I think that people might underestimate. So I see him getting it. I see Brian getting it, but I also see what Johnny does. He knows how to win. And I've been in there with him too. I've been there with both of them. Like, I've been there with like
Yeah, right.
all these guys. So it's uh it's an interesting matchup. Like, shout out to the PFL, like Eduardo, Mike Kogan, everybody. Like, they put together a solid card where you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't gamble, but I bet the odds are very like slim margins. Whatever how that is, however they put the betting
It's a great
favorites out
card.
there. But yeah, but I'm grateful to be on it. I'm grateful to see it. But I think that fight right there is just it's a good fight. It's a good fight. We'll see.
Love it, man. Well, IMPA, I appreciate the time as always, especially through the technology battles at the beginning. But before I
Oh,
get you out of
dude.
here, anything for all your fans, man?
Man, it's just good to get back into the cage. Thank you to PFL. Thank you to you and Home Fight, everybody, for having me on. Man, it's always good to see you. Just God bless y'all. First fight on the state side of the year. So I guess you could say Happy New Year in fighting. And if you're going through, just remember you're unconditionally loved, right? I mean, we all go through something in life. And I think I posted today, and it was like, value didn't kill you. God just used it to build you. So anybody who's listening, and hopefully it sticks with you, I just think like you go through some challenging times in life, and you look at yourself like you're stupid. You look at your life like you're like, how did that even happen? Like we failed, we fall, we get back up. But if you're listening to this interview and you made it to this part, just remember that like I appreciate you watching me fight, but also when you watch me fight too, I've done stupid things in my life. I failed, I've fallen short, but I also know that like God turns it around. You're unconditionally loved. So just appreciate you having me on. Thank you to y'all who listened for 28 straight minutes. Like it's pretty cool. It's an honor, and just loving what I get to do. So thank you for all the support.
March 28th, IMPA KASANGANAY. He's back. PFL Pittsburgh. Don't miss it, folks. IMPA, stay here so I can cut. But thank you very much and punch it out, brother.
Yes, sir. My man.